Directly below the press brake settings, you'll find all your existing processes. Once subscribed, you can have as many as you like. When trialing, you won't have the ability to add more, but you can always edit an existing one and reconfigure them to suit your needs. Let's take a look at how they work. We'll start with powder coating since it's the most commonly used. Click the edit icon over here on the right-hand side. We can see the calculation method on this is using one of the 3 area-based types. Surface area 2 sides plus edges will calculate the surface area of the part, including both sides and the edges. It will exclude any cutouts or holes. Using the price per measure field, enter the price you would like to charge. Bearing in mind that if the price you enter has been given to you by a supplier, make sure you add a bit extra to cover yourself. When you're ready, click Update to save any changes, or Cancel to clear them. The other 2 area-based calculations are rectangular area 1 side no edges, and surface area 1 side no edges. Rectangular area 1 side no edges will take the width of the part and multiply this by the height to work out the square area. Surface area 1 side no edges will calculate the surface area of the part excluding any cutouts or holes. This one will weigh the part, and the quantity calculation allows you to enter your own value. Using welding in 100mm lengths as an example, let's break down what each field does. I've picked this one since it gives a broad-ranging example of how flexible ToolBox secondary processes can be. If you are unsure how to set up one of your own, then feel free to get in touch with your account representative. Let's start with time per measure. What we are saying here is that it takes 5 seconds to weld 100mm. Back up the top here, we enter the hourly rate. There is the setup allowance in seconds, and the setup mode. In this case, it's using per process. Per process will amortize the setup across other parts which share this process. You can use per line, but ToolBox will add 300 seconds to each part. The measure type is quantity. This will allow the user to enter the number of 100mm for each part. Here we have $1.50, which will be used to cover welding consumables. Time per part is used to calculate the time to get the part ready for welding. And lastly, the time per measure will be the total time of the 100mm weld. Let's do the math. First, we take $80 and divide it by 3,600, which gives us 2 cents. This is the hourly rate converted into seconds. Then, we take the time it takes to set up the welding equipment, which is 300 seconds, and multiply it by 2 cents. After that, we divide the answer by the number of parts we're welding. That gives us $6.67. Next, we figure out the price per measure by multiplying $1.50 by the number of welds we're doing. Let's say we're welding 3 100mm welds, so the price per measure would be $4.50. We figure out the time per part by multiplying 2 cents by 60, and then multiplying that by the number of welds. For 3 100mm welds, multiply 0.02 by 5, and then by 3, the time per measure price would be 33 cents. If we add all of those numbers together, we get the total cost of welding 3 100mm welds, $6.67 for setup, plus $4.50 for the price per measure, plus $1.33 for the time per part, 33 cents for time per measure, equals $12.83. The last feature of this page I want to highlight is the ordering. I suggest putting the most used processes at the top. Just click and drag them into position with this icon. Hopefully, this gives you enough information to use a secondary process to calculate the majority of your own. Things to note. Amortization of setup time depends on the number of parts and quantity of parts requiring the secondary process in the quote. Don't forget we're here to help, so don't hesitate to reach out.